Yo, what's up, everybody? Joe Dobby here, back at it again with another deck profile for you guys today. And this is, I don't know what to name this deck because it's not necessarily a Millennium Turbo deck, though it kind of is, but it also offers some versatility for you to adjust to every matchup. I know we're at the tail end of 1.5, and I honestly wish I would have tinkered around with the base Millennium Turbo style first, because that was ultimately how I came to discover this deck. And if I figured this out like way early on, I probably would be playing it much more. But with that said, I'm just gonna dive right into it. First, we'll start with the eggs. I am running 4 copies of Yamon and 1 copy of Demimeramon. So Yamon here is a really good card in this style deck because you want to increase in DP. So Yamon, while you have more than 5 cards in your trash, or 5 or more cards in your trash, gain 1000 DP. Really great for your megas to swing over things and still be protected by retaliation, because I am running quite a bit of retaliation in this deck. Demimeramon is there because it is the best egg in purple, and it is currently the best egg in purple if you are trying to play mill decks. I just play this over Pagu because this offers draw. So the draw aspect of this is really what is big for this deck. That said, guys, rookies, we're running 4 copies of Devimon. When you are playing a Digivolve heavy deck, my thought process is you need to be able to choke your opponent out and starve them of memory often or sometimes or whenever you can, which is why I'm running the 4 copies of Devimon. It's very consistent. You can see the 2-cost rookie, and it's a good opening turn. The typical opening turn for purple is a rookie in raising and a rookie on the board, which is why 4 Devimon is good, because you can pop that rookie down and you will put your opponent to 1 typically. So there's that. Next, guys, I am running 4 copies of Tsukaimon. Tsukaimon adds a lot of pressure on your opponent's willingness to attack. If they need to digivolve from a level 5 to a level 6 and then swing, and they don't notice the Tsukaimon underneath your blocker, or they just overlook it entirely, you could end their turn off their swing and blocking. In addition to that, you can punish any removal your opponent has or wants to do on your Digimon by gaining a memory. So really good Tsukaimon, really good card. Next, guys, we are running only 3 copies of Gabumon here. And these 3 copies of Gabumon are pretty essential, I want to say. They offer a lot of early draw power. I'm only running 3 because I run Lady Devimon, which is even better draw power in my opinion. You get to actually, draw 2, and you don't need to be deleted. You draw 2 on Digivolution, which is much better in a deck that doesn't necessarily want to keep swinging into things. So it's pretty good. Moving on, guys. I've got 2 copies of Gazimon. So these 2 copies of Gazimon are very crucial when you are facing green decks, when you are facing blue decks that rely heavily on Hammer Spark, rookie rush decks. You can shut them down because your opponent will not gain any memory effects apart from Tamers. Next, we are running 4 copies of Devimon. So the reason why I'm running 4 copies of Devimon is obviously you want to protect your Digimon when they digivolve up and swing into things. The win condition here is getting up to an effective level 6 and establishing a board state to win. So Devimon will protect that board state by being a retaliation Digimon. It's also a good way to threaten removal. You can kind of fake people out and make them think you don't have a Devimon, or you do have a Devimon when you don't, and then you can kind of outplay your opponents that way. Next, we're running the standard 4 copies of Boltmon. Boltmon, super important card, much like every other blocker right now. So it's your typical 6k 2-cost to evo blocker. Next, guys, I am running 3 copies of Saberdramon, more inheritable retaliation, and it's also a 4-cost, which is really cheap. If you happen to have your mats out, or if your opponent puts you to 1, you can put them to 3. If your opponent puts you to 3, you can put them to 1. So it's a very good opening turn as well. If you brick and you happen to have one of these, say Bergermon, it's pretty much a good get out card early in the game. You don't need to give your opponent 5 or 6 memory, and you still kind of get that value in the future when you Digivolve over it. 3 copies of Lady Devimon, my mid-range, mid-game main source of draw. Also allows me to discard cards I don't need or discard cards I can set up for Matt Ishida. So really good card with a really good effect as well. You can delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon when you use an option. So pretty good inheritable effect there. Next, y'all, I am running 2 copies of Garurumon. Garurumon is so powerful, and I can't wait to use him in BT 4 and 5. But right now, the reason why I run Garurumon is because it gives a lot of my level 6 Digimon incredible pressure on my opponents. So I run Venom in this deck, I run Metalgar in this deck, I run Boltmon, Millenniummon. So all of these Digimon take very huge advantage of the Garurumon inheritable, which is to destroy one of your own Digimon when attacking in order to unsuspend this Digimon. Next, I'm running 2 copies of Skullmeramon. Sometimes you're gonna brick. That's why say Bergermon and Skullmeramon exist. They offer the ability to get out of bricks and to play things and still put your opponent at the least amount of memory. Next, I've got 1 copy of Kaimerman. So this Kaimerman is more of a clutch tech card. I do not want to be hard playing a lot of Kaimerman over and over again because I do want to draw, and the main draw in this deck is through Digivolution and getting to Lady Devimon, for example. So that's why I run this whole situation, this whole scenario, and the 1 Chimera. Megas, guys, I'm running 3 copies of Boltmon. The Boltmon is your main bridge to Millenniummon. Apart from that, it's also a 12k Digimon that is a 2 cost. So you can do a bunch of other things during your turn with the Boltmon. Sometimes your opponent might be forced to put you to 4 or 5 memory, and that is your opportunity to go right into Boltmon from Skullmeramon, or to go right into Boltmon from any of these megas and still have it be your turn, ultimates, and it still have it be your turn. So it's a very important card in the deck. Oh, cards are flying around. Alright, so next I'm running 2 copies of Venom Mayorismon, 12k DP Digimon, security attack +1, 4 cost to Evo, and on your opponent's turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, gain 1 memory. This card is absolutely devastating to green. I don't care what anyone says. If you have retaliation underneath the Venom Mayorismon, you are free swinging forever, and your opponent loses a memory every time they download. Sarasmon and anything else that wants to swing into Venom with retaliation will die. So it's just value, value, value against that matchup. And Venom is also good against Shine Greymon, because sometimes I would just hard play Skullmera on a brick, Digivolve into Venom, and then swing at security and not be afraid of anything, because even Eden's Javelin is not going to kill Venom. Glorious Burst from security does nothing. So this is my tech against Shine early game. I'm only running 2 though, which is why I rely on other things to swing early with and then just close out with Venom in that case. So you have to change your playstyle in that regard. Next, I'm running 2 copies of Metal Garurumon. Metal Garurumon's a pretty awesome Digimon. My favorite Digimon, personally. I have a whole binder page full of him. And when attacking, obviously you play one of your level 3 purple Digimon from trash without paying its cost when you attack. Really great combo to get a board state going with Garurumon, where you can kind of get double swing with Metal Gar and then bring out a rookie as a result of that. Sometimes I will use Metal Gar and bring out a Gazimon and completely shut down my opponent's ability to use Hammer Spark or use any memory gainers. Sometimes I'll use it to bring out a Tsukaimon, Digivolve into Vilemon, and kind of bait that block to end their turn and swing for game next turn. There's a lot of flexibility and a lot of versatility in the strategic kind of decision making involved with Metal Gar, and that's why I love the card. Next, I'm running 3 copies of Millenniummon, which is a lot for purple. People typically run 2. But the reason why I run 3 is once again because of the triple bolt. My ability to get to Omega is very, very quick. And 13k Digimon, you know? Whenever I get into a bolt, the main decision there is, do you swing first and hope to survive, or do you digivolve in a Millennium? Oftentimes, I will just go straight up into Millennium, especially if my Bolt is not at 13k with the Yum. But yeah, very, very powerful card there. Next, I am running 3 copies of Matt Ishida. So Matt Ishida is a really great tamer. It's the best tamer in the game, in my opinion, and the reason why is because you can actually bring something back to use in your next turn, or any future turn. And it's also a memory tamer for cost, pretty straightforward. Next, guys, I'm running 3 Trump Swords. Obviously, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. It's your main source of removal from security, besides the high DP Digimon, so you gotta have it. Heat Viper is the next card. Heat Viper is mainly a tech to get rid of level 4 Digimon or Rookie Rush, kind of play around all these strats. As you know, I don't really like Rookie Rush, but it's all good. It is what it is. It exists, and it's going to be a deck for a while, so Heat Viper is there. And this has been interesting. I've been playing around with this card, and it's really, really good. Back for Revenge. You can do so many cool things with Back for Revenge. It's insane. So I can Back for Revenge one of my Megas, so it comes back. If I am worried that it'll die from security, it could just be replayed without paying its cost. And then I can gain the memory off Tsukaimon, and I can take advantage of all the inheritables with Back for Revenge, knowing that that Digimon is gonna come back, and then Digivolve into Millenniummon, right? So it's like triple value, really. Like, my biggest turn with Back for Revenge was when I had a Metal Garurumon, Were Garurumon, Saberdramon, and Tsukaimon stack. I swung into security with Metal Garurumon, brought out a rookie, destroyed the rookie, unsuspended with Metal Gar, and then I used Metal Gar to swing into one of my opponent's higher DP Digimon because it had retaliation after playing Back for Revenge. So not only did I bring out another rookie, but I still managed to keep my Metal Gar and destroy one of their opponent's Digimon and take care of a security all at the same time. And I think I put my opponent to 3 memory that turn, and they weren't able to get rid of Metal Gar. So in the next turn, I just went straight up into Millenniummon and got rid of something else and still just put them to 3. So Back for Revenge is a really, really good card. It's got a lot of tech ability and a lot of flexibility here, and you just, like, the skill cap is involved is, like, when you play Back for Revenge, and when, like, sometimes I'll play Back for Revenge early with a rookie here, so I can get that free security check, and then it'll get replayed, and then I Digivolve into Vilmon, for example, like, if you want to be aggressive. If you want to be a little bit more patient, you might want to discard Back for Revenge, wait until a mat comes out, you know, kind of feint the fact that your opponent thinks it's in the discard pile, bring it back, threaten it with taking it with Matt, and then kind of, it's a whole nother level of decision making to your opponent. And if they disregard the fact that you have Back for Revenge in your hand, then you can punish them later on for it. But that's the deck, guys. It's kind of like a toolboxy, versatile, Millennium Turbo Purple deck. It does not have the Meramon elements, so it doesn't turbo all the way up, but it turbos in a much safer way because you have 7 retaliation cards. And the Saberdramon's actually pretty cheap, so sometimes you go in the Devimon in raising, go to 1, hard play Saberdramon, put your opponent to 3. Generally, depending on the matchup, they're not really gonna be able to do much with 3 memory anyway, especially if it's early in the game. And then now you have 2 Digimon threatening level 5. So really, really good and really, really fun deck to play. But that is the profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and peace.